Hey everybody, Melissa Huff here. Hope you're having a great week. As we talk about the baptism of Holy Spirit, I would like to go to Acts chapter 1. We could just start at verse 4 as a representation of what the baptism is. And being assembled together with them, he commanded them not to depart from Jerusalem, but to wait for the promise of the Father, which he said, "You have heard from me, for John truly baptized with water, but you shall baptize with the Holy Spirit not many days from now." Therefore, when they had come together, they asked him, saying, "Lord, will you at this time restore the kingdom to Israel?" And he said to them, "It is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father has put in his own authority, but you shall receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you shall be witnesses to me in Jerusalem and all Judea and Samaria and to the ends of the earth." What that says to me is that the Holy Spirit baptism gives us power and authority, and the ability to walk the model that Jesus walked as a man baptized in the Holy Spirit, but also to be witnesses to God and what he's doing around us. It says Judea, and all the earth. So that's what I think as far as that. The benefits to the Spirit baptism. There are so many benefits, but I would like to take us to Acts chapter 2, verse 17, and we will start there. "And it shall come to pass in the last days, said God, that I will pour out of my Spirit on all flesh. Your sons and daughters shall prophesy. Your young men shall see visions. Your old men shall see dreams. And on my manservants and my maidservants I will pour out my Spirit in those days, and they shall prophesy. I will show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the coming of the great and awesome day of the Lord. And it shall come to pass that whoever calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved." So let's see the benefits. Prophecy, visions, dreams. It says he will show the wonders in heaven above and the signs in the earth beneath. I think that means that, when we're baptized in the Holy Spirit, we not only have the ability to see the earthly stuff around us, but see beyond that into the spiritual world and see the underlying things that are happening around us, where I think the benefits come in many different ways. Some people physically see the spirit world. I personally sense it. Like, I get anxiety when I'm near demons or around them. I get I used to be really afraid of the dark, and I have come to realize that that's because where I slept that was afraid of the dark had a lot of demonic presence. So I get this irrational fear, anxiety when I'm around demonic spirits. So it's not always a seeing. Sometimes it's like a little voice in your head, or I think that's how God speaks. It's like a subtle whisper. Sometimes it's in your own voice. But there's a lot of benefits. As far as discussing prayer language. Prayer language is a really amazing thing, but I think a lot of people get really stuck on how important it is, and I agree, it's very important. But I once heard someone say that speaking in tongues is like a shoe. Without the tongue of the shoe, you wouldn't have a very good shoe, but it's not the whole shoe. But I think speaking in tongues is an opportunity for the Holy Spirit to intercede on our prayers. I think there's interpretation to tongues, and some people can understand, but a lot of times we have no idea what we're praying for. And so I think that's just an opportunity to press into the Spirit and him to intercede on our behalf, rather that be him, going against what we're asking for, because he knows better that would maybe not be good. I mean, I've heard Bill Johnson say that he'll pray, "God, I really love a Ferrari," but then when he prays in tongues, the Holy Spirit goes, "Oh, don't give him that Ferrari, he's gonna kill himself." So I don't know what kind of interceding is going on, but I just think it's an opportunity for the Holy Spirit to intercede on our behalf. As far as my own personal encounter with the Holy Spirit, I've had many throughout my childhood and in my life. I try to press in regularly. I find that he's the one I connect to the most as far as I feel his presence, the Holy Spirit, when I'm, soaking in the presence. I sometimes have a hard time hearing the Lord, which is something I'm learning how to do. I think we all expect at some point that it's going to be this audible voice instead of the whisper of our own. It sounds like ourselves in our minds. And so I've been really training on that. But as far as an encounter with the Holy Spirit, I remember when I was probably 14 years old, I went to this church that my dad's friend was going to, and I remember just getting so whacked in the presence and hit by the Holy Spirit to the point where I was laughing so uncontrollably, like I could not contain it. And literally anyone who touched me fell on the floor laughing. And it was probably the most joy I've ever experienced in my life. It was really incredible. And as far as different types of encounters, I've encountered, healing. When I was little, my mom broke her nose, prayed for it, it got healed. My husband, his ankle had fractured and we healed that. So just different types of encounters with the Holy Spirit. I definitely really enjoy his presence the most. I love being in a place and just seeing the presence come into the room and watching people fall on the floor because the presence is so thick in the room. That tangible feeling is unlike anything I've ever experienced, and I honestly live for that moment. I know that there's more to it, but just being in his presence all the time, there's nothing else like it. So that's honestly what I strive for every day, is to constantly be in that place where I'm just so full that I'm overflowing. It's definitely not successful all the time, but that's my goal. And I thank you so much, guys, for taking the time to listen to my post. Sorry if I went a little long. Sometimes I'm sort of awkward, but I'm excited to hear all of your stories and points of view and how you all feel about this. I hope you guys have a really great week, and I look forward to hearing all your testimonies and experiences with the Holy Spirit. Have a great day.